Hey, so I did a poll on Instagram and asked if my next video should be about moons or if you wanted to see me dancing all over Baltimore City. And moons won by kind of a lot. I was honestly a little surprised by that. So let's talk about moons. One of the most amazing things that has happened to me between 2017 and currently is that I found a group of people locally that were interested in celebrating and honoring the moon cycles with me and were interested in learning more about them. I started making these little cheat sheets for my friends, and they've become something that I've offered in my membership group. We have started meeting up as much as we can for every full and new moon. And those cheat sheets are really great tools that they coincide with whatever particular moon is happening. And they go over general feelings and themes for whatever zodiac sign is happening. There are suggestions for activities to take part in, journaling prompts and things to ask yourself. And then there's things like crystals and apothecary to utilize during this time too. It's become a ritual that I really, really enjoy, and it's driven me to learn even more about the moon. I was never really one for horoscopes particularly, but I do believe strongly in the cosmos and astrology in general. I identify way too much with my own personal natal chart, or just even my sun sign of Gemini, which is totally what's going on all the time, honestly. I'm a bipolar Gemini, all right, I get it. But following along with the moon cycles has given me a new appreciation for the cosmos and how we are even more connected to things greater than us. My body has become more in tune with the moon in so many ways, and that's not just limited to my menstrual cycle, but that has become a thing. I have become more frequent. I was always a 45-day person, and now it's way more coordinated with the moon cycle. There's also just a lot to learn about the moon, and one video or one lesson is never going to be enough, but I wanted to give you a little crash course in case you are interested in picking up utilizing the moon as its cycle and phases in terms of your own spiritual practices. So there are 8 phases of the moon, and each one alternates between yin and yang energy. Yin, and we're talking about the yin-yang sign, right? The black and white. Okay, so yin energy is basically just the state of being, and yang is more doing. So it can be just that simple, but there are way more complex explanations available to you. If you want to dive into the world of yin and yang energy, I definitely recommend doing it. It's very fascinating and educational. But for our purposes, just think about yin as being and yang as doing. The idea is that as the phase of the moon changes, we have the opportunity to shift from a more relaxed state to a more active state, resulting in a consistent balance throughout the 28-day cycle, which is basically a month, right? So we start off every cycle with the new moon, and that's when you cannot see an active moon in the sky. Or the absence, but it appears that there's an absence of the moon in the sky. This is yang energy. We're starting off the cycle with yang energy. This is my personal favorite phase because this is about setting intentions and feeling about what's about to happen for the next 4 weeks, especially in your body. And after I go through all of the phases of the moon, I'm going to give you some ideas for rituals that you can do, specifically for the new and full moon, and then some ideas for supplies that you might need. Okay, moving on. After the new moon, there is the waxing crescent moon. Waxing means that the moon is getting bigger, and crescent is just that little slice, the one that we tend to see people draw a lot because it's a very, it's aesthetically pleasing. A crescent moon is yin energy, and we breathe into the intention that we have set for ourselves as we can see just a little bit of light in the sky. So we're allowing ourselves to take a little step back and just really kind of focus on the goal and intention we've set for this time period and allow our bodies to feel it. The first quarter moon, which is in the sky, it looks like a half moon. This is yang energy again. So again, yang, yin, yang. And this is time to step up and actually do something, to start taking action, to make that goal for yourself to start happening. So this is time to manifest and start meeting the universe halfway and manifest with the goal that you have set forth during this moon energy. Next up is a waxing gibbous moon. And again, waxing, it's getting bigger, and the gibbous is kind of like this weird football shape in the sky. And this is total yin energy. This is probably my second favorite phase. And it's where we start to release control, and we believe that the universe is doing the work. It's meeting us halfway. It's doing work in our favor. We are believing fully in our body, spirit, and mind that things are going to happen for us, and we're just thinking positively and believing in the world and the universe. Next up is the famous full moon, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Lots of yang energy happening here. Lots of crazy energy, actually. This is the climax, the orgasm of the cycle, where all of our emotions, our feelings, our intentions are just coming up to the surface, to a head. And this is a perfect time for you to look back at the intention that you set 2 weeks ago with the new moon energy and make a decision. Are you going to just move through with the remainder of the cycle and actually continue with this goal? Or do you need to release that goal, let it go, and reconfigure, reevaluate how you're going to utilize the rest of this cycle? Because it's okay if things aren't working out for you and you want to change things up, but this is a good time to step in and actually just evaluate what's going on and if it's working for you. Then we go into the waning phase. Waning means that the light that is getting smaller. So the waning gibbous, going back to the football shape, is also known as the disseminating moon. This is more yin energy, going back and forth. This is the perfect time to be grateful, to really get into your gratitude practice, to demonstrate gratitude for what is happening in your lives, for the things that you have, that your body is able to do, for the things that you got to experience today, and also to just accept the gifts that are coming to you with elegance and grace and poise and thankfulness, and just be ready to receive the things that are coming to you because you've done the work so far and you've manifested, so something might be turning up at this point, but you're still relaxed during this phase. Next up is the third quarter moon, which also looks like a half moon, and we're back to yang energy because you are in full-on receiving mode and you are getting what you want. You're taking the last steps to make this happen, and you are feeling abundant, you're feeling prosperous, you're feeling successful, you're feeling like you're actually getting what you want. You're meeting your goals and intentions, and these things are coming to a head, and you're actually reaping the rewards of your energy work and your hard work. And then lastly, the thing that ends the cycle out is the waning crescent moon, or otherwise known as the balsamic moon. And this is very calming yin vibes, and this is a really good time for introspection and to reflect on what has happened over the past 4 weeks during the cycle, this yin and yang up and down roller coaster, but of balance, and to also take time to rest and utilize this time for self-care because things are about to start up again. It's great to check in at the new and full moons. I do that with my group. But how amazing would it be if we were able to be consistently aware of the moon's phases throughout the month and tap into this energy and know whether it's yin or yang, and know how we can use this energy to work for us, and use these ideas as inspiration to go after what we want every single month. Things can get pretty epic. So I want to also talk about, if you are interested in doing some ritual ideas for yourself, if you're wanting to start off on your own, or you're trying to get a spiritual running buddy or a group together, here are some ideas that you can do by yourself or with other people. So taking a bath is a really great ritual to do on the new or full moon. You can make it a really special bath. I actually have a list of 50 ways to make it the most special bath ever, and I'll link that in the comment caption. You can, cover the edge of the tub in candles and crystals, and, the crystals can correspond to the zodiac sign of whatever moon is happening. You can fill the tub with a bath bomb, with a bag of herbs associated with the apothecary of the zodiac, some LED lights, and Epsom salts to really sink into the relaxation. Listen to a meditation or a hypnosis tape, a podcast, just some relaxing music. And while you're in the tub, really hone in and set your intentions. On the new moon, it's a good idea to write your intentions for this phase down on a piece of paper and burn it in a fire. It can be in a little cauldron. It can be in a bonfire. It can be on a candle. But the idea is to burn and watch the cathartic burning take place, and know that your goal is going to become a reality, and to think that as the burning is taking place. A ritual idea for the full moon is to write things down again on a piece of paper and burn it in the fire. But this time is to know that you are free from the things that once burdened you or took up excessive mental space. So the things that you're writing down are not intentions necessarily. They are things that you want to release. And as you watch the cathartic burning, you are releasing this energy and you're freeing up mental space. Alternatively, for either of these things, you can get some biodegradable paper and do either of those exercises by burying them in the earth instead of lighting them on fire. It is also good to check in to see what zodiac sign is happening. What is it? A fire sign? Is an earth sign? That might correspond to how you want to go about doing these rituals. Another good idea is to go out into nature, to take your shoes off and do some grounding. Grounding is literally when you have your bare feet touching the earth, and really get your feet enriched in the soil of the earth. Dance if you feel called to. Afterwards, light some sage until sage is, I have some right here. It looks like this. Light some sage till it's smoldering, and then blow out any flames so it's just kind of smoking. And then run the sage along the outside of your body within your aura and your energetic field, whatever you want to call it, to cleanse your energy and wipe your slate clean. You might want to make a vision or a mood board for the upcoming season based on the sign of the moon that you're currently in, or just your feelings or your goal or your intention. Post it on your wall. Use it as daily inspiration. You can draw a tarot card or do a whole spread reading and then journal about how that reading made you feel and how you can use it to fuel you for the next moon cycle. You can meditate with one of the crystals specifically meant for this zodiac moon on your third eye. You could have a drum circle with other magical friends under the light or the absence of the moon and let your wild side out. Make sure that you are charging your crystals under the new and full moon. And let's get into, lastly, some ritual supplies that you might want to consider gathering slowly as you start making this a part of your routine. So tapestry or fabric for an altar space, crystals. These, again, change for each moon, but some good ones for just moon energy in general are moonstone, clear quartz, labradorite, selenite, and then just like geodes. Herbs, again, also change for each month. Sage and a lighter, a fire pit and or a cauldron to burn things in. Spell candles, those are just like these little guy candles, and then a holder for them to sit in. Tarot or oracle cards for you to draw. Paper and pens, obviously. Fresh flowers if you want to use the petals or just to have more of an ambiance. You could also put them in your bath. Twinkle lights, books about the moon. So this is a really great book by Ezzy Spencer, Lunar Abundance. That's a really good one. That actually goes more into the yin and yang energy. And then this is something that I use a lot too, is the moon sign book. This is the 2008 version, and then I already have the 2019 version. They look very similar. You can get these all online or at your local metaphysical shop. Bowls for water to charge the water under the moonlight, and then you can use that for a foot bath or to charge your crystals, or to cleanse your crystals too. A foot bath and Epsom salts. Meditation music, a journal, posters, magazines, and collage supplies if you want to make a vision board. Little vials to collect the moon water, or to exchange herbs or scents or something with your friends. Essential oils, any kind of elixirs. I have this really great Esbat one that I got from Enchantments in New York City that is great for any kind of moon ritual. And then incense and an incense holder. So those are just 20 moon ritual supplies that I recommend having at your beck and call. So those are my general feelings on the moon, the main phases of the moon, and how to harness the energy, specifically with yin and yang. Some ritual ideas for the new and full moon, 20 ritual supplies that you might want to stock up on, and I would like to leave you with this quote. The moon is a loyal companion. It never leaves. It's always there, watching steadfast, knowing us in our light and dark moments, changing forever, just as we do. Every day, it's a different version of ourselves, of itself, sometimes weak and wan, sometimes strong and full of light. The moon understands what it means to be human, uncertain, alone, cratered by imperfections. I just want to also let you know that I offer metaphysical services, including full and new moon readings. And this has come from a lesson in my Infuse Your Life with Magic e-course that you can get for free. I will leave that link, all the links below, for you to check out. So this is one of the lessons in there, but I also go over sacred spaces for altars, introspection, and rituals in general, and all sorts of stuff. So if you want to check that out, be my guest. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about moon cycles, phases, or rituals, please hit me up. I'm happy and here to help. Have a great day.